I'm Norah Boyd.
Sorry.
I now live in Morecambe, where I retired to, and I'm 85 years old.
Okay, so
Well, living over the shop, being with my paternal grandmother a lot, because both my parents were in the shop, plus staff. Going out every Sunday to collect eggs from the Garstang area, bring them back to Manchester. Also tasting cheese at different farmhouses, which was a delight. It was the only bit of fresh air my mother got was walking along the road. My father would go around to these places collecting the eggs. Sometimes we'd go on to Glasson Dock. Sometimes on a rare occasion going to Morecambe. They were happy days. I was expected to help in the shop when they were having the tea or fill up shelves, which I did without questioning. It was my paternal grandfather and my grandmother that were in the start of the business. They had two shops. My father eventually inherited the smaller one, and his elder brother had the one with the bakehouse, which was a larger one. They had different kind of wives. My mother was a businesswoman and thought more of the shop than me. I think my father did as well, really. Shop always came first, which is quite rightly. That put the butter on the bread, I suppose, and jam for that matter. One of the girls in the shop used to wash my hair and put me to bed, not never my mother. Didn't see much of my mother at all, really, even though she was in the shop all the time. Green grocery, my father used to go into Smithfield Market into Manchester and buy the green grocery, which later on I used to go down during the war years in the pony and trap and bring the green grocery back up to the shop. There was also bakery delivered, hot cross buns and Easter time, and we had the bread delivered every morning from the bigger, like Mother's Pride and Warburton's. Then there was a man came round with crumpets and potato cakes once a week that his wife used to make, and we used to sell for him. And then we would go round collecting order books, which we went round to new houses, collected these little red books that were Class Grocers and Italian Warehouse written on it, and collect books one day and deliver, say, 2 days afterwards. I managed to get 1 week's holiday a year. My father wouldn't give me any more than 1 week, which I would spend usually climbing mountains either in the Lake District or Wales or Scotland, the case may be. You couldn't do very much with just 1 week, but that was all that he allowed me to have. It was very difficult getting staff during the war years too. We used to roast our own hams and had tongue as well, tin tongue and corned beef and bacon, sides of bacon, and we would go down and choose our own bacon at the warehouses in Manchester. Also cheeses from different sources. A very good one was delivered to us. It was made up in the Garstang area, which was Lancashire cheese, that people used to come all from round about, especially for it.
Business.
Not really, because my mother was tired of keep training people in the grocery trade, and they were either going down the mines or they went in the forces, and she had to train somebody else. So with me, of course, it was permanent. There was no petrol, of course, so it was limited, which made delivery difficult. Things were under the counter. It was difficult trying to be fair. And you were limited with supplies, and there were ration books. So people were given a healthy diet, and there was a very nice atmosphere with people. Everybody helped everybody. The men in the forces brought their ration emergency cards to us. My father always made sure they got 1 egg, which they weren't necessarily entitled to, but he made sure they got one. We could no longer go and collect eggs because it went to a central packing station, and they were just delivered in cases, the eggs, which were massive cardboard cases, but everything was centralised, so lots of these places just didn't exist anymore. Just go one night a week, and I had night school, which I took grocery exams. That was in Manchester. There were just 2 girls on the course, the rest were boys. Went to have our practical in London, and the written in London, judging sides of bacon and different kind of coffee bean, where they came from, and tasting things, like different kind of cheeses, and wanted to know all about spices, and their original places. All these things that are just no longer applying now, you know. Wasn't a matter of sitting there and things going through a checkout. You just never sat down. It was quite a nice area, big Jewish area. We had the workers behind the shop in the council estate on the behind the shop, which is on the left-hand side going into Manchester, and on the right-hand side were Ringy Road and the specialists and doctors and solicitors lived. So we had a very mixed trade, which was rather nice really, because you got one lot buying ribs and the other lot, others buying strawberries and fresh asparagus. So it was very mixed. Well after the war, of course, just where we were rationed for a long time, and then these supermarkets started to appear. Quick Save, which we survived from, it didn't make a lot of difference. Asda, which was in Radcliffe, that still didn't make too much difference. And then Sainsbury's came, and it took a lot of the Jewish trade. I had a big Passover trade with the Jews, which was always my job to go and get this Passover things. So gradually it declined, and we became more of a shop where people came and just forgotten things, and we lost a lot of our order trade. So by the time my 2 children were getting ready to leave school, grocery had lost its meaning really. We survived 3 generations, and it was bound to come with the way that the world was changing. Now you're just a number when you go to a supermarket, but of course you do all the work yourself, the customer does all the work, whereas we did all the work before.